Good evening everyone, welcome back to another video from Apex and Chill. This evening we are back for the Thursday evening league at the brand new track on LMU for this summer, the legendary Daytona circuit. 5.73 kilometers in length, and it's a nighttime race as well. Joined this evening with Craig again in the commentary box. Good evening to you, sir.
Should be an interesting race. The circuit is new to LMU, but I'm sure lots of people have got experience it from other sims. We'll see how it goes. So hypercars, sorry, LMP2 cars and GT3s currently in the LMP2 championship. David Weatherston is currently leading on 120 points. Tom Mould is second on 113, and Barry Weatherston is third with 85 points, so it's pretty close in between the top two. That should be an interesting battle. Over to LMGT3, and it's Andy Winters on 134 points. He's got a bit of advantage over P2 is Matt Haskins, who's disqualified. It's coming up on my screen here, and then Sam Hahn, who is proven to be in the last couple of races very quick. So we'll see how it goes, and then we've got the usual suspects. Beyond that, it should be an interesting time. So let's see how they're doing in qualifying.
It should indeed. It looks so far like we have 24 cars on grid this evening. So it's nice to see what looks to be an almost full LMP2 grid. A few cars missing, but not too many. And lots and lots of new faces that are here as well this week. Lots and lots of people are joining the Apex and Chill Racing Discord channel. I would recommend, if you are into sim racing and you want to get involved in a like-minded community that all like to have a laugh and a joke and just generally enjoy racing, look in the comments in the description down below, and you will see a link to our Discord channel. Get yourself over there and get yourself signed up for some sim racing, or even if you just want a fun night of racing, we do occasionally hold them as well, so do make sure you do go over there. And if you are watching on YouTube this evening, don't forget, smash the like button, and if you're not subscribed, do please subscribe. We have a bumper weekend of content this weekend coming up with the LMU special event, 8 hours of Daytona, and we have I believe 8 teams running this weekend, over 20 drivers altogether, many of which are doing it for the very first time as well, so that's going to be great. We're currently on board with Tom Mould in the LMP2 currently. The cars are looking lovely in the underneath the lights around Daytona this evening. He's currently gone purple first sector and a purple middle sector as well, and like Craig said, he has found some pace and he's definitely one to watch. Good evening, Mickey on YouTube. I hope the holiday is going well, and I hope you're not getting too wet with all of this horrible rain that we have been getting. And Tim as well, I know you're watching on YouTube with having your brother visiting you this evening, so I hope you guys have a good catch up and enjoy watching the action as well this evening. So Tom Mould is provisional pole in the LMP2s with a time of a 1:38.0, 1.1 seconds ahead of Rockash so far, so a nice statement time from him there. And for now we're going to jump on board with Sam Hahn in the GT3. He is in the Ford Mustang, and yeah, these cars are really going to look quite different this evening underneath the lights, and it's going to be great to see. And we look forward to seeing what action we've got in store. So Sam Hahn over the line with a 1:49.8. Corner to watch out for tonight is definitely going to be turn 1. I think we've all experienced it in practice this week, Craig. it's quite the challenge.
Yeah, it can. You can. It is a challenge going to turn 1 because, of course, you have to trail brake as you go in. So in certain cars, if you get the brake bias wrong, you will see your back end passing your front end, and you'll be going off. Plus, there's the added things where it's often an overtaking opportunity, and it's not the easiest one to pull off. And then you've got the added thing as it being a multi-class race, and any LMP2 who decides to overtake a GT3 going into that corner. So currently we've got C. Hull that is currently on provisional pole for the LMGT3 class. Now it looks like they're quite struggling to get heat in the tyres at the moment, because I would have expected these times to be down in the 46s by now.
Yeah, I mean, we do have slightly cooler track temps than what a lot of people will be used to around this track. Obviously the practice this week will have more than likely predominantly been done in the sunshine. So we are having much cooler conditions. We currently have an air temperature of 22 degrees and a track temperature of just 16 degrees. So if I was them guys out there, I would be closing up them brake ducts just to get that extra heat into the tyres through qualifying. Because qualifying, it comes and goes quickly. We've got 8 minutes remaining already in this 15-minute qualifying session. We're on board with Hewlett now, and he was 1.8 temps up in the first sector. Very briefly, going back to the YouTube chat, Mickey says, "Oh, she's a moist one." Well, you did pick one hell of a week to go away, mate, with forecasted thunderstorms. Cheers, Carbrother is looking forward to this as well, making him watch it. Your brother will be getting into sim racing next, Tim.
Yeah, educate him. Educate him.
That's it. Get him behind your sit. Mate, he should have took your place tonight, Tim. Get him in that rig. Get him on that wheel and get him taught. Keena on YouTube, good evening everyone. Nice to have you on board. Don't forget, smash that like button. And going back to Hewlett now, middle sector, 2 temps up again. He's only green though. We have a new purple middle sector by Mr. Nagy. So we'll see if he can keep that pace going for the remainder of the lap. We did have a yellow flag momentarily as well. Mr. Michael Wood. Yeah, so Chuck went off in the LMP2s, and then prior to that, Woody went off as well in the GT3s, who kindly informed me before the race this evening, Craig. Guess how many laps practice Woody's done this week? Bearing in mind, he's always like really hard on himself. 2 laps.
So he's done 0.
2 laps. Yeah. I think he'll be using this session as a
because
practice.
Woody will be doing this for 8 hours on come the weekend.
Yeah, he definitely needs to get the practice in. Definitely needs to get the practice in. So Hewlett has gone provisional P1 in the GT3s, 146.6, just 1/10 faster than Mr. Andy Winters in P2. And I mean, I guess the question is this evening, Craig, is can Andy decide to have a clean race this evening, keep himself out of trouble?
Well, it would be a first, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. Meanwhile, I apologise if I'm pronouncing this. Chancerelle has just gone to pole on LMP2. It's just on 136.096. It's currently got. Oh no, Weatherstone has just popped in by 2 of a second.
There you go. Now Sam Keys. Sam Keys has now gone pole as well.
The tyres must be warming up now on the LMP2s. The times and the track rubber's in.
There is less than 2/10 splitting the top 4 in the LMP2 class. If it stays like this, we are going to be for one hell of an evening.
It could be an interesting race at the front of that.
Yeah. Jumping on board very quickly with Jonas in the McLaren. His first outing with us this weekend. Currently purple first sector, purple middle sector by almost 3.5, 4/10. So we could potentially have another driver here that will give the guys up front something to think about this evening, because we definitely have seen the GT3 split this season so far, with the front runners and the mid class, and he goes pole by 1.5 tenths of a second, a 146.1. So I mean,
for sure that he's just gone back into the pits. He was actually running 100% fuel, so it wasn't right for fuel to go in, and I don't think he'll have enough time now to get back out and warm his tyres up for another shot. So I mean, don't see him improving on his time.
No, I mean, unless he went out with the same tyres and tried to retain a little bit of heat in them, he's just not going to have the time to do it. Yeah, I mean, Andy Winter's still out there. 5 tenths back so far, though, in qualifying. So, you know, he's got a little bit of work to do there in this qualifying session. Going back to the LMP2 battle, Tom Mould, purple first sector by 2.5 tenths, Craig. That is one hell of a first sector.
I mean, he's going to have to. The competition is definitely heating up at the top of the LMP2s. And currently Tom Mould is in P4. I think he would like to be either in, on the front row, because that gives you the advantage going into turn 1, which could be quite a melee. But we did get away with it in Monza, where it was recently in the Saturday League. So it was fully clean, so hopefully that will carry over until tonight.
No, it would. It definitely will. So we did miss Woody's incident earlier. We may have to have a look, see if we can get it on a replay at the end of this session, because he says, I think I overcooked it, but look, at least I went out in style. So I'm guessing, considering he's in YouTube chat, he's totaled his car in qualifying. Yeah. Tom Mould.
So Woody will be on stint 3 on Saturday.
That's it. Just let him get in the car last. Tom Mould with an absolutely brilliant time of a 1:35.4. He is almost half a second.
That's going to be tough. That's going to be tough, especially his Keys now. He's also in the pits.
So Keys is in the garage now. Weatherston is on a flying lap, but he is yellow in the first sector, 1/10 behind his best. So yeah, I mean, that was a very, very convincing qualifying session there by Tom. Barry Weatherston down there in 5th. He's also done a green first sector, but he is almost a second off the pace. And is less than a 10th up in the first sector on his time. So yeah, very, very convincing there by Tom Mould. Going back to the GT3s, we have Jonas set there still in pole position by 1/10 of a second from Craig Hewlett now in P2. And Andy Winters has improved 3 tenths behind pole position there this evening. And actually, a very, very close GT3 grid. There is 1 second splitting the top 10. The top 9 of the GT3 category, pretty much.
Yeah, it's going to go for an interesting race.
It is shaping up that
tyres
way.
are going to come into it in this thing. It looks like Dennis had a spin.
There's a yellow flag there. Let's have a quick look to see what happened there. There was contact between him and Tamas in the LMP2. Contact in qualifying? Never. We do normally run private qualifying, but every now and again we do... Oh, big smash. That was Tamas's fault. Parked up at the side of the road, I'm presuming, to try and leave the session. But yeah, that will have been quite the frustration there, I feel, for Dennis. It doesn't look like he could really do much about that incident there, which is a massive, massive shame for him there. He has been quite unlucky recently in past races.
That kind of tends to follow him around. Dennis, maybe one day will tell you about his Audi season in ACC, where he took the Audi R8 GT3. And he didn't have a good time, and that I think the Porsche may be the wrong choice for him. But we'll see going forward.
Yeah, Woody
how
says
that works
it's
out.
all under control and he's just finding the limits. As long as you don't find the limits at the weekend, Woody, we will let you off. Another surprise in the LMP2, Noah. First race with us this evening, P2.
Well, that's come out of the blue. He was he must have put a...
He was 2/10 behind pole in the end. Yeah.
Yeah, it should be interesting.
Absolutely.
Out from there,
Jonas.
if they can all keep it on track.
Jonas somehow managed to improve even further, and he has a commanding almost 0.7 of a second lead over P2, which is Craig. So that is the end of qualifying, everybody. And we will set the grid now, and we will get that up on your screens in a moment.
So, predictions for the race. I think it's going to be tough for LMP2, but I'm going to put my money on Tom. I think he deserves to win this, and we know from the past he's very fast consistently. But you never know with the newer drivers. He's going to be under threat.
No, he definitely is. He definitely is. He's definitely going to be under threat, and I think, it's going to come down to, we say it every single week, consistency. Who can keep it nice and clean? Who can navigate through the GT3 traffic? And ultimately, that is going to be who takes it this evening. So, running through the grid very quickly, we've got Tom Mould back to Noah in P2. Then Sam, P3 in the LMP2s, Tamas in P4. Then in P5, we've got David Weatherston, P6, Barry Weatherston, the two brothers next to each other once again. In 7th, Tristan, and in 8th, Nicholas for the LMP2 category. Yakir back in 9th, that's somewhat of a surprise for him. And Chuck there, back in 10th. And then 11th and 12th were reserved for some LMP2 drivers. And then P1 in the GT3, Jonas, commanding pole position there. Then from there, we've got Craig Hewlett and Andy Winters. We have Mr. Weston and Josh Christie.
Formation lap has started.
Sam Hunt and Mr. Nagy. And then Remy and Fugado back from there. The formation lap is underway. And yeah, let's see if we can all navigate round turn 1 nice and safely this evening. Do give us your predictions in chat. Who do you think the winners and the losers are going to be in this race, excluding Woody, because I think we all know where his fate is going to land this evening. Sorry, mate, but
he's going to end up going to a Barry R concert, isn't he?
He definitely is, mate. He definitely is. That, I think we can all... I think we might as well actually put a bet on how long he's going to last in this race, actually. I think that would be a more accurate bet. He's going to kill me one of these days, is my brother, I tell you. So...
Yeah, my brother in love. There you go.
That's it, mate. That's it. LMP2's leading us round the steep banking, and I must admit, Craig, one of the things I noticed in particular was how much the banking drags you on LMU.
Yeah,
it really does on the old force feedback wheel there. So yeah, it's going to be a challenging race.
Yeah, it's very tough because the wheel does get really heavy on there in the settings. I noticed that myself. It's quite a struggle to keep the car straight.
No, it definitely is.
About lap 6 or 7 is when we expect the LMP2s will start catching up to the GT3s, and that should be interesting. The traffic can play a part here. I mean, if you're lucky, you'll catch everybody as an LMP2 driver on the banking.
Yep.
And if you're lucky, you'll get them in the centre field. As they come into turn 1, it looks clean from here.
Yep, so far.
Tom's got a pin side by side with Weatherston.
There was a couple of cars there, 2 abreast, but we can see they do seem to have made it.
Someone's missed the braking.
Oh dear me, and that's probably race ending for him there. He's lost his rear wing, he's going to struggle to get that back to the pits. But it does leave the door open for Tamas on his debut race of us this evening. So fantastic, fantastic start of the race there for him in the LMP2 class, as they safely make it in the infield section now, which actually it's not as challenging as what I thought it would be as the infield section on this track.
No, it's not too bad. I mean, but there's a lot of time to be gained and lost coming through the infield. So it will be a challenge.
No, it definitely will be a challenge. Absolutely. So we'll go to the battle in the GT3s now. Jonas with a massive 1 second lead on the field already. Do we have an alien on our hands there?
Yeah, I think someone's gone off there. I mean,
he is going to be in a class of his own this evening by the looks of this. Looks like we've got Mr. Michael Wood overtaking Robert Perez in the GT3s for P11. And we are currently on board with Remy in the GT3s. This is a very, very close battle that we've got going on here for 5th place. You can see now 2 wide round the banking, and I think that is what really makes this track. You know, you can run such a large part of it 2 wide and still have lots and lots of room. So, on board in the dash now with Remy, and yeah, you can really see the detail of this track in the evening now, as he is following closely behind Mr. Weston in the McLaren this evening, the white McLaren this evening. And Remy was definitely later on the brakes there, as he's closing that gap up, and I think he'll try and get a run on Weston coming out of this corner now as we go onto the banking, heading towards the bus stop, which I'm sure we'll see a few cars have incidents in this evening. I wonder if anyone's going to hit the tyre wall. That is a literal wall.
yeah, it is. It doesn't dissipate, and it got a lot of players out earlier on that expected the tyres to disappear as they used to do on ACC on Donington. If anybody ever played that, there used to be tyres on the chicane on the full track, on the GP track, and somebody would hit them pretty quick and the tyres would disappear and never come back.
Yeah. On board with Rockash now in the LMP2s, going into turn 1 with Nicholas. They're actually 2 wide then as they went into that. Into T1 there, but Nicholas managed to keep his nose ahead. Very close battle here between P6, 5 and 4, as these cars now make their way around the infield section, and these LMP2s really do make this infield section feel a breeze compared to the GT3s. A little bit of a lock-up there from Rockash, which he is accustomed to every now and again. We've seen him now on multiple weeks. Thrill races away from losing the car, which makes me think he does prefer an edgier setup than some, but he's definitely prone to having the odd lock-up and spin here and there, so we'll see how he gets on as the race progresses. Looking back at the GT...
it should be interesting. Oh, sorry, you can't.
No, we're going to say, looking back at the GT3s, the leader now 3 seconds away from Andy Winters. I can only imagine the words coming out of Mr. Winters' mouth round about now, as he is very, very competitive. And I'm sure he'll have a thing or two to say about it after the race, like he normally does. But yeah, lap after lap, purples.
Yeah, that's very quick. I mean, it is quick. And the problem for Andy also is Andy tends to get slower because he tends to wear his tyres rather quickly as well.
He does, and yeah, with a track like here, you really do need to be looking after them tyres as much as you possibly can. So we just saw then on camera, Rockash did get past Nicholas on this current lap. Nice clean overtaking move as well. And we have had action at the front of the LMP2 pack as well. Noah got past Tamas for P1, and we're going to have a look back at that on the replay now. Looks like Tamas must have actually had a moment and went off wide, and Noah thought, I'll have some of that. Another newcomer this evening. It's nice to see two newbies, clearly not nervous, up there in P1 and P2 this evening, which is always nice to see.
Yeah, it's good to see people finishing, getting themselves right into the track. It doesn't just have to worry about going too fast, but we've definitely got some fast new guys. We'll see how it goes.
We do,
and the guys
indeed.
Towards the back of the field, it's a question of iron sharpens iron. You've got to race for faster drivers to push yourself.
Absolutely, and again Rockash is trying to make another move here into T1. I think he's liking this overtaking manoeuvre in T1, and side by side, very good close clean racing there past the pit exit, and this is actually turning into a really nice free car battle. And Mr. Weatherston down there in P7, he's not too far away from the action as well now, so if these three do keep on fighting like this, it will bring Barry into it. And we do know when Barry can get his head down, he does have pace. The two Weatherstons both have pace.
Yeah, they're both quick guys, as the results from the standings show this.
Lovely to see some close racing from the LMP2s this evening. And then looking back down the GT3 pack, on board with Remy, he has Figueiredo right in front of him there in the Corvette, and then Sam Han in the Ford as well. So another free car battle for us to keep a very close eye on here as well. It's definitely looking like Remy is... he's going down the inside, and he's got it done. Figueiredo must have just run a little bit deep there. And Remy took that one nice and cleanly on the inside. Sam Han now in front of him. Sam Han, though, we know from previous weekends, he also does have some pace behind him. And as I'm
he definitely did. He's a lot lower down the order in this time than I expected him to be, but he has been rather quick on the last couple of races.
Yeah, no, he definitely has.
It's the same with Lunas, but he seems to always... He's had a drive-through in the last two races, but he didn't qualify very well in the last race but at Qatar, but he did come through the field and then ended up with a drive-through, which cost him in the end, as he did at Imola as well when he was fighting for the podium. He had a drive-through.
Yep, he definitely did. Lovely close racing here, looking at the GT3s on the banking between Remy, Figueiredo, and Weston is in this as well now. So there's some very close racing between the GT3s. It won't be too long until the LMP2s are making their way round, as we have a yellow flag. Mr. Chuck Vitalik, Obsidian Racing. I've got a replay of that incident coming up right now. So we can see here he's actually put it into the tyre wall just before he turns into the banking. Yeah, he's always super hard on himself when there is really no need to be. So we're back on the GT3s, still with Remy on board currently. As we go back a little bit, we can see the battle is hotting up between Graham and Raphael in the GT3s.
Yeah, there's some close battles. I mean, in both classes, I think at the moment we've only got 1.2 seconds covering the first 3 in LMP2. Meanwhile, Tom Mould has re-entered the race, but he is a lap down, and I'm sure the stewards will be looking at the incident he had with Keith on the first lap.
Absolutely. Almost 3 wide going into the turn 1 then between these 3 GT3s. Absolutely great racing. Wheel-to-wheel battling. Quick look on YouTube. Scott looking good, ladies. You cheeky bugger. Mickey, where are we racing next Thursday? Carlos Fandango. I haven't been called that name for ages, but I used to be called it all the time. I don't actually know without looking. I'll get back to you on that one. Scott, our commentary team this evening are putting on a fantastic performance. Don't know about that. They are racers with a wealth of knowledge. Who's he on about? He's not on about me and you, are you?
No, but I mean, it is Scott. He does tend to get out of the car when he's still supposed to be in it.
Well,
so we won't go into that. We won't worry about that.
And then at the bottom is put, however, they are too dangerous on track and so relegated to the commentary box.
Oh,
at least we know when we're driving, Scott.
Words will be had. And I can see Scott, who is not racing, being in front of the stewards at some point today.
Oh, yeah, he absolutely will be. He absolutely will be. Looks like your Kia, yellow flag Roma. What we were saying about Rokash? He's got the pace. Yeah. But his consistency isn't always there, and a big spin for him there. Big spin. And yeah, he's now dropped down the pack to 8th position in the LMP2 category. So, going back to...
That's too tight at the front of LMP2s.
Yeah.
The lap times are all very similar. They're starting to come through the GT3 field now, so there may be an opportunity.
They are. We're actually going to go on board with the leader of the LMP2 here, just to see how he manages to start to navigate some of the GT3 traffic in front of him. We can actually see 2 GT3s in front of him right now that will be battling for position. Sorry. So we'll see how he goes about navigating them. I mean, the infield section is probably the worst place to actually overcome GT3 traffic around here. It's called the infield section for a reason. It's not as wide, and as you can see now, he's actually been overtaken from Noah, and Thomas has dived down the inside of Noah again there as we go on to the outer ring section. Yeah, Noah did a much better job at clearing that GT3 traffic then, the first part. Overtook him, and Thomas said, no, I'm not having none of that, and got him straight back. On board with Noah now as they make the way round the banking. Looks like they're going to come across a couple more GT3 cars, and I actually think they're going to probably come across them maybe before turn 1.
He's just a little bit off. He's
on
the inside of one, and Dennis is getting a bit squirrely in front of him, but he's
nicely done.
Got through cleanly.
Yeah,
both through, because I'm on board at the moment with...
Yeah, both of them were through, and the GT3s gave them plenty of room as well. Well, I say plenty of room, as much room as you possibly can in turn 1, I guess. Going back now to the GT3s very briefly, we've got Remy down there in P5, chasing down Sam Han, less than a second. This battle's been going on now for quite some time. Looks like Figueredo has dropped back ever so slightly. Now over a second gap between Remy and Figueredo. So it'll be interesting to see how that battle carries on throughout the race. It looks to me that right now Remy seems to be taking advantage of the fact that he can sit behind Han and just settle into a rhythm just to see if anything happens in front of him later on during the race.
Well, he's got an opportunity there to save a little bit of fuel as well, because I mean a quicker pit stop could get him out. You could jump somebody quite easy in the pits and that.
Absolutely.
And we've just had a word from the stewards that Sam Keese has been awarded a drive-through penalty for causing the collision on lap 1.
That's unfortunate for Sam Keese, his first race with us this evening. And yeah, you can see that coming up on your screen now. Drive-through penalty for Sam this evening. And for those of you that aren't aware, we do have live stewarding going on during the race this evening. And then at the end of the race, all drivers are told the reasons behind it. And yeah, it's something that we've been trialling now for the last 3 or 4 weeks. And it seems to have gone down pretty well so far. So we're currently on board with Graham Weston. But we're just jumping to Malt Belling, who normally is, so I've learned, is a hyperdriver. He very, very rarely uses the GT3s, and he's actually the guy that snapped his wheel into only a few weeks ago during the race.
Yeah.
And that was something that we've never seen before. Yellow flag there for a GT3 of Callum on his debut this evening. We've got so many debuts going on this evening. We've got a replay of Callum's little incident now. Oh, I think he must have either had a technology breakdown there. It definitely did. I think he must have had a wheel disconnect or something, because he was parked up at the side of the road and then managed to get it going again. So I think he must have had a tech issue there.
Yeah, it can happen. I've been on the receiving end of that one before myself. Hopefully he's resolved it and he can get back into the race and recover what he's lost.
Yeah, it was definitely definitely a dodgy place to park, shall we say. Remy has just got past Han. We saw him previously. It was a second or so behind, and he's now just got past him. And going into turn 1, Sam Han didn't really fancy it back. We've got a replay of that action now, so we'll go and have a quick look to see how that looked. He just got in the slip. The LMP2s are coming around the outside. He was in the slipstream. There was absolutely nothing Sam Han could do about that.
It's just one of those, was it? Because I'm presently on board with LMP2s. It does happen. I mean, you can get going through a corner. LMP2 overtakes you. You can get washout as well, which could cause monumental understeer. It doesn't seem to be as effective, as bad on this game as some sims, which you really do feel the dirty air.
Yeah, no, it doesn't seem to be. I think I feel it more in the faster cars, the LMP2s and stuff. You tend to feel it a lot more in them than the GT3s, but yeah, it just looked like it just got a much better run. Slipstream came into effect and there was very little that Han could do. And I mean, to be fair to Remy, he's pulled out almost a second gap now in a lap.
I mean, to probably from P2 to P8, the lap times are very similar. Andy Winters is just slightly faster overall on his 5-lap average. He's a 46.9, but the rest of them are not falling too far off each other, and it could be quite close for P3 at the end. And who gets it, just like it was at Spa.
It really could, because when you look further down the grid, in particularly from Malt Belling down, you can tell they've all been running very closely with each other, because they're all actually preserving energy. You know, yeah. Belling nearly has a 3% advantage on the front runners, which, you know, that could be a lap's difference, which is, you know, a few seconds less in the pit stop.
It is, and it's not a particularly fuel-friendly car. It's a Corvette, so he's doing really well. Then
It
we'll have to
really,
see what
really
the
is.
strategy is. And of course, one of the things about lifting and coasting, it also saves your tyres. So that could be an advantage later on in the race if you've got fresher tyres, or if you don't change your tyres, which saves you around 12 seconds in the pits, changing all four tyres. I mean, there could be some movement as we go through when we get to the pit stop stage, which we expect probably be around 20 to 25 minutes to go.
It could indeed. So we saw David Weatherston then in the LMP2s just setting a purple lap there on his last lap, and he is actually closing the gap on Noah very, very nicely. He's proving once again he's got the pace.
Yeah, it takes him a while to get in his rhythm, it seems, in a lot of these races. He always seems to come good in the second half as a person who has the same issue and needs to get in rhythm through. I don't have an Weatherston's overall pace generally, but it is one of those things. Just to get it as you get faster and faster as you move on, and he does that every time. And of course, the added incentive of having his brother pushing along. I'm sure you know all about that.
Oh yeah, I mean, these two stay very, very quiet in Discord, and I can only imagine how competitive they actually are. We don't really get a sense of it that much in Discord, because they do keep themselves very, very quiet, but I can only imagine, like, me and Woody have always been competitive, and well, weirdly enough, he's normally had the upper hand on me, so I'm relishing in this right now. With him struggling and me kind of been like, what you want about? This is quality. It's very, very unusual, but I mean, yeah, me and him are always, up until LMU days, we were always very, very close on pace, and we've had some really, really close races over the years, but yeah, the brotherly rivalry definitely does come into play, 100%. Timmy on YouTube, one of them has done it longer than we've been alive. And some laughing faces at the end there.
Yeah. So there's a gap developing at the front of the LMP2 fins. That's I think is a lot of that would be down to traffic, because the pace. Am I saying that is Capitani? Yeah, and Thomas, his last 5 average was a 36.4 compared to Noah's 37.1, so it could be that. And at the moment, he's just on a purple middle sector, so he's absolutely flying.
Yeah,
it's a shame what happened in Turn 1, the incident between Reese and Tom Mould, because I think we could have had a very interesting battle up front.
Absolutely, completely agree. And we are seeing here between Weatherston and Noah, the slip effect in the LMP2s is actually quite strong round the banking section here. And I just wonder whether Weatherston's fancying it, the inside line going into T. No, he's happy to stay behind. Again, I think this is another one. He's just preserving his fuel, biding his time. He's putting the pressure on, and Noah, you know, first race, he's doing well. He is not folding under pressure at all. So we have Michael Wood with a penalty, 2 penalties. I'm not quite sure what's happening there. We've got a yellow flag incident with him, so let's see what's happened here. Anyone who placed a bet... Oh, he's lost it in the bus stop, straight into the wall. He was just going into the bus stop way too fast. Way too fast. And
the Ferrari doesn't react well to the curves of the bus stop.
No, he yeah, lots of damage, bad damage there. He was crawling around trying to get back to the pits, and then he got a penalty, which can only imagine is going into the pits. He was speeding in the pit lane. I'm sure he was. He's still speeding in the pit lane. He never put his pit limiter on. He was just speeding.
Yeah, it's very hard to pick out the white line on this track, but he should have some clue where it is.
And then he overshot his pit lane as well. But yeah, he was definitely speeding in that pit lane. Do you know? And I think he's actually retired from the race.
Yeah,
that is a big
meanwhile,
shame.
At the top of LMP2, we just got a fastest lap now in the 1:35s for Thomas out in the lead. It is Thomas, isn't it?
It is Thomas. Oh, and a big moment. Sorry to interrupt you there. Big moment from Weatherston. T1. He locked it up. Going into T1. And we'll get a replay of that now. Disqualified, mate, it said, would it? Oh, and he had the move done on Noah. He had it done, and he just had no grip on the outside line. That was unfortunate. That was unfortunate. Well, we'll see whether he can recover from that. But yeah, 135.7 from Tamas now in the lead of the GT3s. How come you got a disqualification, buddy? What did you do wrong this time? I'm not laughing, I promise.
He could have had him for cutting the track too much, depending on, I don't know how he drove back to the pits, or he just went far too fast.
Yeah, we've got
and
another.
He spent more than 5 seconds in somebody else's pit lane. You can get it for that as well.
Yeah.
It wasn't from me.
We've got another yellow flag out there for Barry Weatherston. And yeah, he's had all the pace this evening, and I think he's fallen into the dreaded trap of one spin leads to 2 spins, and I hate to say it, it will probably lead to another spin before we know it. Truck as well in the LMP2s. The LMP2s now starting to struggle. Turn T1, yellow flag, and again lost it on the brakes there going into T1. So the LMP2s all of a sudden are struggling into turn 1. I wonder if that's tyre related, maybe less fuel, bit lighter, but they're definitely struggling there. And I say it again, Nicholas Montero now in the LMP2s. Another yellow flag incident here that we're going to get a replay of right now. And again, turn 1 again.
Yeah, and Figueroa in the LMGT3 just went to cut the grass for the for Daytona. He went off a little bit going through the infield section. He's now rejoined, but he did cost him the position. He's now in P10, then stuck P9.
Just seen that in the replay now. Oh, that could have been. That could have. He did well to slow down when he did. Otherwise, he would have took Dennis with him then.
Yeah, he nearly rejoined at the wrong moment, but
he did.
No harm, no foul. And that, I mean, Jay Christie's not having a great. For him, he's down in P8. He's just been in the foil. Oh, he's just spun.
Oh, what is going on? How many more spin? This is unbelievable.
Yeah, T1 can, because you can throw the car in too hard, and if you get too much brakes, and if you've got your brakes, which I suspect he would have with the Mercedes favouring the rear bias, it can give you a light back end and throwing it, but that's not going to do well for his tyres when it comes later in the race, a spin like that at that speed.
No, I mean, we did say, didn't we, at the beginning of the evening, turn 1 was going to be a difficult corner, and it's definitely proving that way this evening. I mean, just going through now, Himad in the LMP2 is out of the race, and then Figueredo, Wood, both as well DNF'd and DQ'd from this evening's race. It did look like you were speeding in the pits, Woody, so I'm not sure if that's what you got the DQ for, but on our replay it looks like you were speeding. Tom Mould there making his way back through the pack. Currently navigating his way through the GT3s. 2 laps down, of course. What could have been?
Yeah, well, I mean, his 5 lap average is actually faster than P1. It's a shame for him. He would be gutted, I suspect, about that. But that's racing sometimes, and the stewards took action, so
It is. It's unfortunate.
it's bumpy. So it's very unfortunate. Maybe it was a bit of a commentator's curse as well, because I did tip him at the beginning of the race, so I'm really, really sorry for that, Tom. Tipping you to win, and I'm just glad I didn't get to the bookies on time to put the money on it. But there you go. Same, Rockash is down he's in P7. Just finished that now. I mean, Rockash is very quick in GT3s, so he might be finding the step up slightly harder to move up to LMP2. It is a different driving style. Suits some people better than others. Some people prefer the high downforce. And of course the braking with no ABS is very difficult. So, and every time you lock one of these cars up, you have a chance of flat spotting your tyres. The same when you spin, because the tyres are more sensitive, which then leaves you at risk if you brake and it goes on the flat spot, as Martin Bundle explains on F1 many times. Cars have a tendency for that. Actually increases your chance again of spinning.
No, it does. I've spent a lot of time in the LMP2s recently, and they were a car I initially really struggled with, and I'm starting to get the hang of them over time, but they are very rewarding when it goes right and they feel amazing, but when it goes wrong, they punish you quickly. On board with the GT3s currently, Graham Weston coming up to the back of Mr. Belling. Weston sporting the silver McLaren this evening with the classic Vodafone livery on it. That reminds me of the old days in F1.
Yeah, it's a classic McLaren livery, that is.
It really is. It's a lovely livery on that car, and you can see there Chuck Retallick from Obsidian Racing making his way around in the LMP2s. I'm sure he'll be treating this as a practice session now for the endurance race this weekend, in which we are doing that in the LMP2s as well. So, a lot of the GT3s now in the 30% on energy. So we will expect to see these cars coming in, what, in the next 10-15 minutes or so?
Yeah, it should be about 25 minutes to go.
Yeah, so we shall see them start their second stint as the two GT3s, they're going through the bus stop. And one thing that I've noticed in particular about the bus stop in LMU is the apexes or the curbs are not forgiving. You look at other sims out there, iRacing being one of them, and I won't say it's a sim, but GT7, the curbs are nowhere near.
Very forgiving. Flat.
Yeah.
They're just flat going into the bus stop.
They are, and it's the exact same on iRacing, and it's these on here are a different beast. And the track limits are also very strict over them. Very strict over them.
Yeah, very strict. It's
so
it is definitely hard, and it's going to suffer in the 8 hours. Lots of people are, and I expect lots of drive-throughs.
yeah, it's going to be the battle of survival, I think, for the 8-hour race. We're watching Rockash now in the LMP2, again showing his pace, catching up with Mr. Weatherston, who's had a tricky couple of laps this evening so far. His brother now, David Weatherston, in P3 in the LMP2s, after being a little bit further down the grid earlier on. And as we can see now, Rockash making his way past Dennis in the Porsche. I always know which one Dennis is because his Porsche stands out to me. Don't know why. But you can always tell when it's him. In fact, he's the only Porsche runner.
It's, I find quite strange, and I mean, we did have another Porsche runner at one point, but he's hasn't competed for a while. But yeah, Dennis was originally going to go for the Mustang, and then he's changed to the Porsche. It doesn't seem to have done him any better, to be quite honest.
No. The Porsche is a really, really nice car once you've learned the quirks of it. I think it's got specific quirks to that car that can be that can be a challenge. If you like a car that turns in on the nose, it's definitely the right car to use, but it can be a challenge. Just having a look here, race control. We've got a contact between Malt Melling and David Weatherston. Obviously that's a GT3 and an LMP2 coming together, so we'll have a quick look back at that now on the replay. And it looks like... I'm not sure why that's flagged that as contact, because there definitely isn't there. Definitely looks like a netcode incident there. Both drivers were definitely sticking to their line. Rockash just overtook Barry Weatherston in the LMP2, so we're going to have a quick look back at that moment now. Looks like Weatherston had some sort of issue there. I didn't think he ran wide initially, but he must have had some kind of moment. But he is back up and running now, so we'll now see whether Weatherston can chase him down and get the position back later on in the race. So having a quick look at the stand-ins for the LMP2, got Tamas out there in a commanding lead now, out there in P1, 14 seconds, back to Noah in P2, Weatherston in P3, and Tristan in P4 of the LMP2s. And as we're starting to see some pit action now, we've got Jonas, the leader of the GT3 pack, I believe there, pitting very, very early. Very early. But I think there's one thing we can both agree on here. He had the margin to do it.
Yeah, he's definitely pulled out quite a gap.
Yeah, he definitely had the margin to hand there. Let's have a look, see what else is happening around the track currently. So we've got Samhan, who's got an LMP2 squeezing down the inside of him there as they go into the outer banking. Woody enjoyed it, and I'm actually feeling confident for Sunday. 103.5% with no setup or practice is a good starting point. So yeah, he did tonight's race in the car that he won't be using on Sunday, or whenever you guys are doing the race as well, so we can't forget that.
Yeah, it's slightly different. The Ferrari is very difficult here. I mean, if I was driving tonight, that's what I would be in. And in testing, suffered immensely in turn 1 and going through the bus stop. It's like any type of curb on the bus stop and you're off. And if you overcook your brakes slightly going to turn 1, you'll find yourself going backwards, which is one of the faults of the car. He's trying to trail brake into fast corners. So it's a difficult car to master, but when you do, you can be quite fast.
Yeah, very
we'll
much
see
like
how
the
he
Porsche
does
in that
with
respect.
the BMW. Yeah,
The BMW is a much, much more forgiving car. It's almost one of the perfect cars for endurance racing because it's just it just behaves, and it's the ideal car for the big long endurance events because you know what the car's going to do. It's very, very predictable. Dennis there, yellow flag in the GT3s. Having more trouble in the old Porsche, going through the bus stop again, and that's a big smash into the wall there as he exits the bus stop, and he's definitely going to have some damage repair time when he gets himself back to the pits. and he'll probably fuel up to the end and see where he ends up. But we've got another cropper there for the GT3s. We've just had a penalty come through, although I didn't see it flash up on my screen, for Noah in the LMP2.
I'm not sure what that's for, whether that's track limits or speeding in the pit lane.
Pit lane infringement.
So that could be either.
I suspect
that might be driving into his box or speeding, one of the two. I mean, often with speeding you get stop and go, don't you? So, sure, really on that one.
No, plenty of action happening all around the track at the minute, with cars pitting. Some of the LMP2s have got 3 cars in. Tamas is on pit exit. It says he's on pit exit. Oh yeah, it's a big long pit exit around Daytona though. So yeah, we've got plenty of action happening with the LMP2s all pitting. We've got Andy Winters in the GT3 in the pit box. So again, a relatively early pit stop from him as well. And for someone that notoriously will struggle with tyres, makes me wonder whether he's pit and put a fresh set of boots on there, or if he's carried on the same qualifying tyres there.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that as he goes. If his pace starts to drop, or if he suddenly loses, because it's about 12.5 seconds, and I won't suspect anybody will be changing a full set of tyres. Some people might go for the right hand side, because that's what gets the most wear on this track. But it's an hour and 15 minutes, and you should be able to make the tyres last for that amount of time.
Yeah, I don't think. A part of me was thinking then, if he had nothing to lose, would he go for it, knowing that he could probably make the gap back and still retain P2, but I just don't think there's enough left of the race in order for him to get them up to temperature and then try and claw back that deficit, realistically. He's left the pits now. He's 17 seconds behind Jonas, who pit a little bit earlier, and just on board with him now. It definitely doesn't look like he's suffering with cold tyres. Oh, he did have a moment there though, going into the outer section for the first time, as we just saw an LMP2 go off in front of us as well there. Another incident from Rockash this time round in the LMP2s. We saw him just lose it, and I must admit, when I've been practicing this week, this has been the place where I've lost it the most. Just as you exit the infield section and you come onto the banking, if you get on the throttle too quickly there, you will spin.
It's tempting to try and, because you see the track open in front of you, and it tempts you into putting the throttle down before you've got the steering wheel straight enough.
Absolutely.
And if you do that, you will find, even in the GT3 cars, that your rear end will no longer collaborate with the front tyres.
Absolutely. Scott on the YouTube chat, Daytona 8-hour special event is going to be amazing, as long as I remember not to get out of the car when I should be driving in my stint, of course. Absolutely.
I should clean his ears out before he gets in it. My advice to him.
Just a quick reminder, everyone that is watching on YouTube this evening, do please hit the like button, and if you're not subscribed already, do please subscribe to the channel. We have so many 8-hour races coming up this weekend, potentially on our channel. It's going to be an action-packed weekend all around. And if you are into LMU and you are into sim racing, our Discord link is in the description of this video. And if you get on over to our Discord channel, you might find I was going to say a secret, but it's not really a secret anymore, a new Apex overlay setup system that we have launched, early access to all of our Discord members. So if you are interested in your overlays and your setup tools, do head on over there, because the initial reaction that we've had from the application has been absolutely fantastic. Also, finally, we've partnered up with Andy's Man Club, who are obviously a men's charity over in the UK, and they do an absolutely amazing job up and down the country for people that are suffering with mental health issues, and their main goal is to encourage men to talk. So you'll find a link in our description to their website. We do also do fundraising for them, and you'll find a link to the donation page in the description box as well. And 100% of all money raised goes to Andy's Man Club. Well, I've been saying that. Scott says, "Say what, Craig? Sorry, can't hear you. I've got my helmet on." It's already revved up and ready. It's just 3 days early.
It's something I'd use to describe him, but we won't go any further on that. It is a family's channel after all. But we've got a bit of a battle brewing in LMP2 between Rockash and Noah. And Noah obviously has lost some positions due to his driver he picked up, and they're currently on the back of Everston as well. So we've got a bit of a three-car battle, and there's a GT3.
GT3 is going to be right in the way. That's going to be a steward inquiry for that incident. I can feel that one coming. I mean, you know, the GT3, he had nowhere to go. He had cars either side of him. And the LMP2, in my opinion, and I'm not a steward, but in my opinion, should have preempted what was happening in front of them much sooner than they did. We've got that on a replay now. We will see that back on a replay, and you can make your own mind up. It would be nice if the replay went back a little bit further than that, though. That's no good. There we go, that's better. So we can see here, looking on the replay, Barry goes on the inside, and then Rockash collects Barry, and then Barry then collects the GT3. Barry was just an innocent party in that one, and no doubt he'll have something to say about it at the end of the race.
Yeah, he collected him in the back end of Barry. Went out and went into the GT3 car. It was a McLaren, I believe. Rockash has come the worst off of that, but Stewards will take a closer look at that one.
Got another yellow flag from Robert Beres in the Ferrari. Going into T1 again, by the looks of it, yeah. And, the LMP2 there had to make big evasive action to miss the GT3 going into turn 1. Now, Robert does do the right thing. He waits until the track is clear, reverses it, and then rejoins nice and safely as well. So turn 1 has definitely seen its fair share of action this evening, which makes me very, very nervous for the race at the weekend. I can tell you that much for sure, with 40 odd cars on the grid. Contact between Tom Mould and Chuck now in the LMP2 category. Lovely camera angle this here, and I mean, maybe I'm blind, but there was definitely no contact there between them.
Yeah, he does seem to have a problem picking up with incidents at the moment. The replay. We've got 3 different systems. I've got 2 different systems to you running, and it's not all coming up.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, not one of them can distinguish where contact is happening. We've got another moment here between. So Barry catching back up. I mean, it's all gone P-tongue on my end. I've got Barry in front of Noah, but on track, I'm pretty sure Noah is behind Barry. We've definitely got some
gremlins in the work here.
Gremlins in the works here this evening. Let's have a look here. So we're on board with Noah. So Noah is now in front of Barry. And Barry is now going around the outside of the GT3 leader. Round the banking. Heading into the bus stop. Nice and smooth through there. Very nicely done there by Barry. We've also got a potential battle happening between P3 and P2. Tristan Collas seems to be trying to pull the gap into Weatherston ever so slightly. Weatherston's last lap was a 1:36.9. Tristan a little bit slower, 1:37.3, but the gap is starting to close somewhat, as we've got Miss Nagy in the Lexus GT3 now leaving the pits with 23 minutes left to go. So you weren't far wrong there, Craig. 25 minutes left, you said. And if it wasn't for them pitting early... big moment here by Nicholas Montero in the LMP2. His first race of us this evening. Looks like he is behind the Corvette of Malt, and he just lost it on the power there. Big moment. Big moment. So the GT3 field is definitely still all up for grabs in the mid-pack. Between
definitely close racing.
Between Andy, Callum, Sam, Remy, they are all relatively close with each other. So this is definitely a battle we should probably keep our eye on as we progress into the final quarter of the race this evening. Hopefully you've all enjoyed it so far this evening. Do let us know in the chat if you've enjoyed our make it up as you go along commentary. And Adam Reed, who we had a few races back, will hopefully be back with us next week. He's been enjoying himself over at Snetterton today, Craig. Doing some in-real life race testing.
So that should be fun for him. I hope he's having a good time, given what the weather's probably like at Snetterton today.
Big moment there by Callum, and his engine actually cut out as he had that incident there, and he's managed to get the engine going again, but all the ignition and everything had turned off inside his dash there, and it again coming out of the bus stop, and as soon as he hit the wall, you can actually see his cockpit flickering away there. He's managed to get the car back going, but that's one gone from this battle.
Yeah, it's tough racing.
This is going to show this evening how much of a challenge this weekend really is going to be. It is such a tough track out there.
It's going to be really tough. There's the bus stop is going to take its first share of casualties because you mistime it and you get your wheels over the curb just a little bit too far, and they were tracked with the curb as it tries to join. They call it railroad tracking, is when you can't turn the wheel because you're too close because the curb's in the way.
Absolutely.
And so you won't get the right turn into the second part, and you'll be rapidly approaching some deceleration trauma as you decelerate quickly as you hit the wall in front of you.
No, absolutely. And we just saw there that the award for this evening for the best save goes to Nicholas Montero in the LMP2. He just did a full 360 spin out with the looks of it, and managed to point it in the right direction and carry on almost like nothing had even happened. So some great car control there from the newbie this evening. But we are starting to see more and more mistakes happen as Tamas now, yellow flag incident, the leader of the LMP2 pack. Looks like the bus stop has claimed yet another victim, and it has. On the exit of the bus stop, Tamas, it almost looked like as well, Craig, then he hit the tyre wall. That is quite literally a wall.
Yes.
He has managed to get the car back underway again. But that is a big shock in the lead for the LMP2 there. Tristan being absolutely faultless pretty much this whole race. And now David Weatherston in P1 for the LMP2 class.
Yeah, he's going to he's probably picked up quite a substantial amount of damage as well through that. We'll have to see what his pace is like as he gets going again.
Well, Tamas is now in the pit box. He is in the pit box, so that's going to be race ending. Now, the question that everyone's going to want to know right now is, if David wins this race, do you think he will ever let Barry live it down?
Probably not.
Mickey?
Yeah, I just looked at Thomas's incident. He went over the curves a lot on the middle part of the bus stop, and so he probably grounded himself. This is why he lost the rear end on the exit, trying to get on the exit, because these cars run very low to the ground, and then he spun again as he was trying to rejoin. So I think he got a puncture by the looks of it. His tyre is flashing on my screen as I'm looking at the replay, so it looks like a rear puncture, or it might have just been it was overheated.
Yeah,
but he has changed tyre in the pit.
He is showing on my screen as having a left rear tyre. That looks like it was a puncture. Now the problem is, he's showing on my screen at the moment, his left rear is showing as a wet tyre on pit exit.
That's it is on mine. He's got a blue tyre on there. So I don't know. I mean, obviously he must have either the crew have put that on by mistake, or his qualifying tyres were too far gone to put back on the car, because I would have thought it'd been better to do it. But unfortunately, that's cost them the race, and we may have a battle for 8th and 9th. What we was expecting earlier on between Tom Mould and Thomas. So we may get a battle out of those two at the moment.
We might do. We are currently on board with G. Remy in the Lexus. Him and Han have been very, very close the last few laps. And you can see as he's making his way around the banking, going into the bus stop, the slipstream is evident in the GT3s. So it's definitely going to be probably the best place for overtaking this weekend when you look at the endurance race. And Remy took the bus stop there very, very nicely indeed. Very, very nicely through there.
His problem is the Mustang is a lot faster than most cars in the acceleration part. You can catch it more when you get to the top end, but it gets to that top end a lot quicker than most cars. So Remy has caught him up a little bit going into turn 1, but not as much as you hope.
No.
I mean, that's if you can get the exit of the bus stop right, that's probably one of your best overtaking opportunities on the circuit. It's that drag down into turn 1, if you can get yourself up along inside or even past, using the draft and the side draft, which you can get in this game as well. But you've got to be careful of that, because if you miscalculate, you could end up taking both of you into the wall.
Absolutely.
But Remy seems feisty at the moment.
He is. He's definitely applying the pressure to Han. He definitely seems the faster car of the two currently. Makes me wonder whether Han's struggling with tyres ever so slightly, because he's much, much better on throttle and on corner exit, although he had a moment coming out of the infield section there. And Remy now has the gap back to what it was previously. And as we've been gibbering away, Callum and Barry both had yellow flag incidents. Tamas has had another yellow flag incident in the LMP2. Absolute disastrous scenes for him. No doubt it's due to him having a wet tyre on the rear, so we'll have a quick look at that incident now. And he's going through past the pit exit on his first flying lap. And yeah, he just lost the rear. As soon as he went to turn in, completely lost the rear. And I mean, that was a very unsafe rejoin as well. Obsidian had to slam on the anchors there in that first sector, and I'm sure the stewards will be taking a look at that.
Yeah, that's something what will be looked at after the race for unsafe rejoin, and that will probably get him some penalty points carrying forward. but we'll wait and see what the decision is.
Yeah.
You know, the gap's remaining pretty steady. Remy seems to close the gap going through the infield and down to by 3 or 4 tenths, and then Hahn seems to pull back those 3 or 4 tenths going through the banking section.
It's just like you said though, isn't it? If you don't get the exit correct going into the banking section, you lose so much time all the way around the outfield section round Daytona. Yeah. Corner exit is super crucial.
Yeah.
And he got a much better exit that time, did Remy. He's still not going to be close enough this lap, but if he can keep on doing what he's just done there, he should start making inroads on him again. I think the biggest shock for me this evening, Craig, looking at the standings, is, and we haven't really covered him that much, Nagy in P2 of the GT3s. Somewhere along the lines, he's leapfrogged.
Yeah, he's crept
Winters.
up again. He has crept up again. He did that at Spa, but was he driving a Lexus at Spa?
I
thought he was in the Porsche, to tell you the truth. But
I'd have to look back to see, but I mean, he's done. He seems to do this. I remember that race at Spa. He did the exact same thing there, and he's done it again here. And he is actually sporting a special Daytona livery, 8-hour livery on that Lexus as well this evening. So no doubt that will be the car that he's using for this weekend's special event, sporting the livery. For Nio Mods Racing, by the looks of that. But yeah, I mean, Mr. Winters will not be impressed with this evening. Sat down there in P3.
Yeah, he's again, it's the latter half of the race where he suffers. I mean, he was 2 to 3 tenths quicker on a 5-lap average in the first half of the race than he is in the second half. And if you compare that to our race leader, whose pace in the second half of the last 5 laps is pretty much the same as it was in the first half, it's you've got to learn to look after those tyres.
Absolutely. So we're looking at the back, from the back of Sam Hahn's car in this fantastic view, actually.
He's a lot closer this time, isn't he? So he
really
might get the run on him.
We've got an LMP2 going round the outside, but he's definitely got the run on him this time round.
Yeah. Now we've got to watch this here, because Hahn's made his move, and he's decided to keep the inside going into turn 1. We'll see how this goes, but that's a really good move. He's gone around that side, and they're still together. Because of course the finish, and he's, I think, took the better part of valour there to go back in. Try and stay close again through this infield section. If you can keep up close, and if you can get that exit either out the final corner to get him into the bus stop, out the final corner of the infield section to the bus stop, or out of the bus stop into the final part of the banking section, he may be able to get the move done this time. To add to the complication, they've got an LMP car coming, but he is a lot closer.
He is a lot
0.3
closer.
behind now.
Definitely close this time around. I think if he'd have made that first corner overtake stick, that would have been the one for overtake of the evening. It was definitely pleasing to look at.
Oh, yeah, he stuck his nose out a little bit there. He's probably trying to gauge his braking point, and he's lost the gap this time. Maybe he might want to try and time it better and be and concentrate on trying to overtake after the bus stop, which is a lot longer section.
No, you're definitely right there.
Yeah, he's got it. He's got it. His hand missed his braking. He broke too late, and he's gone far too deep into turn one. And Remy is free now. He's got to pull a gap, you would think, because the Mustang, he's very dangerous on the straights behind him, but he's pulled out 0.8 to 0.9 of a second of a gap already. So he's got to get the next couple of corners extremely right and pull that gap away and consolidate his position.
Another battle that's warming up out in the LMP2 class towards the back end of this race is Nicholas. He seems to be catching up to the back of Sam gradually, currently navigating his way around the infield section and making his way around some GT3 traffic. He has lost a little bit of time there going through the infield section, but he's got a 2-second gap now to get back onto the back of Sam with 8 minutes remaining of this race. And to be fair, so far it's been a very good race. Some really close battles going on across the pack, not just in the GT3s but in the LMP2s. And still 9 LMP2s in the race and 11 GT3s in the race, which is great to see. Josh Christie there, DNF'd this evening, so I'm not quite sure what happened to him. Very unusual for him not to finish a race.
Yeah, he did have that big incident at turn one, so I don't know how much that affected him. But I've not seen anything flash up on any other incidents beyond that for him, so maybe we'll finish after the race. When we analyse the replay, it might be apparent why he decided. So Colin Witherspoon, he's losing a bit more time as he's fighting his way through the GT3 pack, trying to get on the back of Reese, but he's only 2 seconds behind him now, and he's just up with Andy Winters, and Andy's gone deep and missed the corner, so that wouldn't have helped. And there's now clear track between him and his prey.
Just makes you wonder what would have happened to Remy if he'd have got the overtake done that lap before with Han. Gave himself a bit of a lap advantage. Just checking in on the old Discord to see what's happened to some people this evening. So Craig Hewlett, he got jumped to the pits at the start of the race and disqualification. No idea why that happened. Kyle Esmond had issues with his technology this evening. Throttle pedal just stopped working. Got stuck in the pits, couldn't do quali or the race, and now he's switching back to his SRP light pedals. So some tech issues for him. And then Josh, I've just had a shambles of a race, missed the start and spun, and now went into the wall after the bus stop as well. So
he's claiming it tonight.
Yeah, that bus stop is definitely going to claim some victims, not just this evening, but this weekend, and no doubt it will claim some of the Apex and Chill Racing teams that take part in the special event this weekend. 8 hours without any mistakes is going to be... I'd probably say this is actually going to be one of the toughest ones we've done yet, to be honest.
Yeah, and Spa is tough. That was a tough race.
That was.
Very tough, but in Daytona as well, it's unforgiving. There's certain aspects of the track where you've got absolutely no runoff, unlike at Silverstone the other week where there's plenty of runoff at Silverstone, so you have a mistake, chances are you can recover the car before you do any serious damage. But here you're not. If you come off at the bus stop at the wrong point, you've got the immovable tyres on the exit, the wall what is beckoning in front of you. When you're entering, if you take too much curbs, then you'll just bottom out and go flying into the wall. And then there's turn one where the wall can become, it's a little bit more forgiving, but the wall can approach you rapidly as well. And if somebody makes a mistake either in front of you, in turn one, you can suddenly find yourself sitting in somebody else's car.
Absolutely.
You drive through it.
Absolutely. Currently on board, dash cam view with David Weatherston with the onboard graphics, and you can see the way the LMP2 drivers have to modulate the brake pedal lovely there through the bus stop chicane. That's a great example of exactly how to do it, and you can see him there modulating the brake and trail braking as he's going through. We've got some contact between Remy and Sam in the GT3 and LMP2 apparently, although don't take my word for it because I don't think that's been very accurate this evening so far. And it does look like it's an LMP2 approaching him out of the bus stop. A little bit of contact. The GT3 of Remy got a little bit squirrely coming out of the bus stop there, and the LMP2 just brushed alongside him, but nothing major. Nothing major at all. Tom Mould setting fastest lap after fastest lap this evening.
That Bond incident really cost us a bit of a battle here. But of course, Thomas also had his incidents, and his pace was completely gone, which you'd expect with the wrong rear tyre on, especially on the outside right here, which is a anti-clockwise circuit where your right-hand tyres take a lot of hammering, and once that tyre in, it will be overheating.
Absolutely.
By a large margin, that finish, and the grip just won't be there, so it'll be having to feather the throttle
Absolutely.
more than usual.
Tom Mould back in the pits. Not quite sure what happened to him. There was a yellow flag incident actually here looking at this, so he must have had another moment this evening. Can't say it's a massive surprise of how much it looked like he was pushing. Obviously there is points.
Did a 5-1 not long ago.
That's another one. Coming out of the bus stop straight into the wall. No warning. He's just in it. But yeah, he's definitely got the fastest lap of the race this evening, a 35.1 so far. As we go back to the live action now with 1 minute and 58 seconds remaining in this evening Daytona race. We've got more yellow flags for Mr. Mould out there. Looking at this, Robert Perez in the GT3 is in a Lamborghini. Only 4% of energy left. So he'll be hoping that it doesn't go on for an extra lap, otherwise he could be in a spot of bother on the final lap of the race. Another driver we've not really seen much of this evening, sporting the Red Bull livery. Tom Mould now with a stop and go penalty for track limits. So he's had quite the adventure this evening.
He's probably had a night to forget. Remy's just lost a load of time to Andy Winters. He was only 2.2 seconds behind him, but he's just dropped back a little bit to 3.8 seconds behind him.
Yeah, I wonder if tyres are playing a part
come into the
there.
final lap or two. I mean, he might shake up again here. Andy Winters has only got
Often.
a second.
That is something that we do know historically he doesn't particularly fancy doing. He's making his way now into T1, Mr. Winters, with 10 seconds remaining on the clock. We will jump on board with the leader of the LMP2 class, Mr. David Weatherston. Would this be his first race win with Apex? I think it would be. I think it would. Or did it? I think I know he's definitely had a podium previously, but we'd have to check the figures to see if he has won previously. But he's just making his way now through the second half of the infield section, and you can see he's cleanly got through the infield section for the final time in this race. Now on the outer section, and he'll be hoping he can keep it nice and tidy as he approaches the bus stop. And hopefully he won't be putting his name on that bus stop wall this evening like so many others. Looks like Tristan on his Apex Central debut as well in P2 in the LMP2 class. That'll be a fantastic result for him. And considering Rockash has had a number of incidents this evening, he's somehow going to get away with a third place, looking at the standings so far. So it just goes to show, if you do not need to be the fastest driver to win in this LMP2 class. You just have to be the most consistent. As Weatherston crosses the line to take the win in the LMP2
That's a good win for him.
Absolutely cracking job there.
Consistency over pace, that is.
Absolutely, 100%. And it wins every single time. As Tristan crosses the line there in P2. And then in the GT3 category,
I mean, even Christian, he overfueled as well by quite a lot. Both the top two did. Interesting race. Took its toll, as you'd expect. And it bodes well for the weekend. So don't forget, there'll be various streams running over the weekend featuring drivers from Apex and Chill as we try and tackle this track for 8 hours.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be one hell of a weekend for Apex and Chill subscribers on our YouTube channel, so do please make sure you are subscribed to our channel, and you may even get a sneak peek at our new overlay system that a few of the drivers may be running as well. So we'll go over the session results. Now, all of the drivers have pretty much crossed the line. In the LMP2 class, David Weatherston with the win there. Fantastic result for David. I am sure he will be over the moon with that result. Tristan there in P2. Very, very good debut there for Tristan in the LMP2 class. Yukiya down there in third. Had his fair share of incidents in this race, but still managed to come through and claim the podium spot there in third. Sam in fourth, Nicholas in fifth. Barry Weatherston, the other Weatherston, down there in sixth place. David's definitely got the bragging rights in that battle this evening. Tamas down there in seventh, threw that race away. He had a commanding lead the whole race, and yeah, it just fell apart from there towards the back end. Chuck Ritalik, nice to see him finish there down in 8th position. And Tom Mould, who started 2 laps down, finished the race there in 9th position. Then as we go and look at the GT3 class for the last time this evening, we have Jonas there in P1 in the McLaren. What an absolutely fantastic first race from that guy this evening. He was untouchable. I dare say he's probably alien, but you know, hopefully we'll see him back next week. Nagy there, we mentioned it towards the end of the race. Absolutely fantastic result again there from Nagy. Snuck up on us again. Mr. Winters down there in 3rd place. Remy in 4th. Sam Han down there in 5th. Malt Belling, I think he'll be pleased with that result considering he normally drives in the hypercars, down there in P6. Graham Weston in P7. Robert Perez in P8. Dennis there in the Porsche, we saw it firsthand. He did have a difficult race this evening, but still managed to finish in P9 and score some points. Callum there in the Ferrari on his debut this evening in a nice P10. He's got his first race out of the way now, so we'll see how he progresses in coming weeks. And then in final place there this evening, we have Glyn Chesterton, who was in the Ford once again, rounding up the GT3 class. So, as Craig said, make sure you are subscribed this weekend. We have lots more action coming up. And yeah, I mean, I've really enjoyed it this evening. And I think, yeah, it's been thoroughly enjoyable this evening. Cracking race. Some really, really clean racing all around. Thank you everyone for watching this evening. And do keep an eye on the Apex and Chill website for the upcoming schedule for the streams this weekend. But from me and Craig, thank you for watching this evening and enjoy the rest of your evening. And we'll catch you later on.